You know, I think it's important to remember, Duck fans out there, and we are home of the Ducks here. You can catch all Duck games here on the Fan Sports Network. That we've been talking about this all year. One loss no longer kills you because of the playoff structure. You are in okay hands. Now, how you lost is a little frustrating, very much so, because Indiana walked into your house, punched you in the face, and you couldn't get up. I am not, you and I kind of differ on this. I'm not willing to write off the Penn State win as some sort of non-important thing because of what's gone on with them since then.
I'm not writing it off, but
the shine's come off for sure.
The shine has come off for sure, and it's not Oregon's fault. But 3 of the coaches that have played have been fired because their programs are such a disaster.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma State, Oregon State, and Penn State. You can make a case legitimately, and I don't think it's necessarily fair, but you can make the case that Oregon's best win this year is Northwestern with where programs are.
And I argued Montana State because because they're going to be a playoff contender in FCS.
But
then I still came back at you and look, drew out before Indiana.
Talent for talent, Penn State is the best team. There's no doubt about it. And the game was great.
And there might actually still be better talent on Penn State than Indiana. There might be.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're talking about guys that are playing on Sunday, 100%.
DBs for days.
You have the best corner in the country in AJ Harris, and you've got Denai Dennis Sutton, who might be the best pass rusher.
Yeah.
That or was it Bain at Miami? Like that dude's
They got running backs on Penn State. That's why I'm not willing to say
for sure.
You went into a hostile place and you won. Unfortunately, someone walked into your hostile place and punched you in the mouth.
And you squeaked out at Penn State, where they have since collapsed in an epic fashion. And you could, if you were a Duck fan, maybe you toot your horn a little bit, saying we broke them, and we broke Oregon State, and we broke Oklahoma State. And
Oklahoma State one.
And you can make that argument.
We knew that Oregon State was going to get crushed. The level of talent is just different. The Oklahoma State win was personal, and it was not very nice, Mr. Lanning, because you broke those poor kids down there. You know, you want to talk about the state of your program. Who's in a worse spot, Oregon State or Oklahoma State? It might be Oklahoma State.
No, it's Oregon State.
Yeah.
It's Oregon because the Oklahoma State still has money and people care.
And you're in a Power 4 conference.
Oregon's schedule now, coming up, they fly to Rutgers. They have Wisconsin.
That's a get-right game.
Yeah.
Wisconsin at home is a huge get-right game. That team is bad.
Then you go to Iowa.
Oh, little spicy Iowa action.
You should win that game. But remember, everybody's like, well, Indiana only beat Iowa 20-15.
Iowa's a stingy little bitch sometimes.
They're just going to make life hell.
You're going to hurt coming out of that game. The kids are going to wave to you. It's going to be a tough game.
Then you've got Minnesota.
And then the new circle on the calendar. If USC wins this weekend against Notre Dame,
I'm going to be so much worse.
Boy, that...
I'm terrified of this game. I am so terrified of this game. I am so terrified of this game.
If USC beats Notre Dame this weekend, the juice of USC going into Autzen.
Where they're no longer invincible.
Dude, game day might go back.
They should.
Game day might go back.
You know what? Let's take a look at that. I'm going to pull up that slate.
While you pull up that slate, I will converse here. Again, the sky is not falling. There's a lot of issues. The offensive line finally showed what our preseason concerns were or questions were. I'd like to see a little more from Will Stein. We have seen if Dante Moore struggles, it's going to be a rough day. Look, everything that could have gone wrong in that game went wrong. But you want a little shine? Everything that could go wrong went wrong in that game, and going into the fourth quarter, you had a chance to win it. The pick six was huge. That was good film watching. He jumped that route, took it to the house. You had a chance to win while being beat in all facets of the game. So hang your head high on that, Oregon fans. Like, it sucks to get stunted on at home by a team that showed up 2 weeks ago, to the national conversation. But at the end of the day, you were in that game without playing well. That says something. And that's something you should hang your hat on. So you know what? Go out and run the table the rest of the year. Go out and make a statement. Host a playoff game at Autzen and have Tennessee walk into your house and see how that goes for them. Okay? You're okay. You're fine. Dust it off. Shake it off. You'll be good.
Going through the slate, if USC runs the table between now and then, the game day will be at Oregon.
Yeah.
So your other big game that day is Florida, Tennessee. That's the other one. I think that
Billy
competes,
Napier will be fired by then.
right? Georgia Tech, Pittsburgh, BYU, Cincinnati, Nebraska, Penn State doesn't have the juice anymore. Texas, Arkansas, K-State, Utah. Trying to see any other ranked games that week and play Samford. Missouri, Oklahoma.
Yeah, maybe they'll do that. What'd you say, BYU, Cincinnati?
Mm-hmm.
If both those teams are ranked, I could see that just because
Right
they
now,
don't want to retread.
Right now BYU's 15, Cincinnati's 24, like that, and it's at Cincinnati. It's a fun environment.
Holy War this weekend.
But let's see, between now and then, USC. I mean, they're in the teeth of their schedule right now. USC would have to beat Notre Dame, Nebraska,
and I'm not convinced they're beating Notre Dame. Notre Dame's offense is humming right now.
Yeah. Nebraska, who they're top 25 team.
Turns out CJ Carr, nice little
pretty good. Northwestern, Iowa, then Oregon.
It's tough.
It's a big ass. God, that Illinois game pisses me off even more now. But November 22nd looks awful spicy right now.
But to this listener's point, path to the playoffs might be easier now with one loss, potentially.
Oh, it is.
It is.
I
expect Indiana to run the table. I expect Ohio State to run the table the rest of the way. That Penn State game for Ohio State is going to be ugly.
You know what's interesting here? So the top 5,
and so then you skip the Big Ten conference championship game. Skipping that game might be kind of nice.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know you want to win natties and having the bye is awesome, but do you know how stoked I would have been if I was a college student and got to go to a playoff game at Autzen?
Oh God.
Like that is so rad. Not going to the Rose Bowl, a neutral site, or all the way to the Orange Bowl or something like that, but to be able to host a game. Look, I know you want the bye, and I know you want to win the Big Ten.
But also playoff game?
That is really cool. And you got a real big chance to do that now.
And just taking a look at how things are shaking out right now. Over the next this is the sorting hat period of college football. It started this past weekend.
Oh, and it's going to continue into this weekend.
And then next weekend. It's these 3 weeks are really going to sort some things out. The top 5 teams in the country right now are all undefeated. The first team with a loss is Alabama at 5-1. I find it interesting that Texas Tech is undefeated and they're behind Alabama. Because according to basically all of the metrics across college football, Texas Tech is rated, if they're not 1, they're 2.
Yeah,
all the analytics have Texas Tech as the best team. Or not, maybe not with a bullet, but like by basically every measure, they're the best team in college football analytically.
I think Texas Tech suffers a little bit of what Indiana suffers from. It's just perception for different reasons.
Yes.
Tech used to be good.
It's the idea of Tech and the run and shoot
but they haven't been good in years.
Yeah,
since Leach left.
But
really.
you still have that in your head of like they don't play any defense. They're just going to run the score up. It's like no, they play defense and they run the score up. That's the problem. Is they're really good on both sides.
I also think there's no love or respect given to the Big 12 for appropriate reasons.
But after that, this is where the 1-loss teams all stack up. Oregon, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, and then you have undefeated Georgia Tech, which I think they should probably get a little bit more love.
Everybody assumes Miami will beat them.
Notre Dame is 4-2, and here's the thing: if USC knocks off Notre Dame,
they're out.
Notre Dame should be out.
They're out.
They should be out. But after that, you have Oklahoma, then BYU is undefeated, and the only other undefeated team in the top 25 is 22 is at Memphis. Everyone else: Missouri, Vandy, Virginia, USF, USC, Texas has 2 losses. Utah, Cincinnati, and Nebraska all have 1 loss. And Illinois is the first team out, and they have that 1 loss, obviously, to Indiana.
We're starting to we're in the F around and find out area.
It's the sorting hat, man. I'm telling you, this is these 3 weeks. Now, it doesn't mean these are the only weeks, but this is when you have. In the AP Top 25 poll that I put out on social media, I put a little note in there. This weekend, there are 5 top 25 matchups.
It's spicy.
So 10 of the top 25 teams in college football per the AP poll are playing each other this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's spicy.
Very spicy.
Spicy. But if you're Oregon, handle business from honestly.
You got to get right game.
Honestly, if USC and Oregon both head into that game with 1 loss, the loser of that game can still make the college football playoff.
Yeah,
with
especially
2
if
losses.
It's close. Especially if it's close.
Either way.
If Dante turns it around and Mayava keeps playing the way he is, there could be a Heisman on the line in that game too.
Ooh, it's kind of fun.
Because, look, Dante played bad.
Yeah.
Dante was bad on Saturday. He didn't lose the Heisman.
No,
Nobody's won it.
No, him.
I know it took a hit.
Him and
But
Mateer.
Mendoza didn't play well either.
No.
I know he's high up there in the odds, but that's just because they're undefeated.
I think the three guys for me that are in the Heisman race right now that have taken the biggest hits in individual games this year: Mateer this weekend,
such a bad game.
Dante this weekend, and Dampier against Texas Tech. I think the guys that are in the. I'm taking Jeremiah Smith and Julian Saint out of this because I think they're just trying to steal people's money. I don't think either one of those guys are Heisman candidates right now. Now Smith is as a talent, but he's just not. The production isn't there for what you would expect from him. But I think those three guys have probably taken the single biggest hits in games of like, oof, that's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Beck hasn't had a bad game. Nussmeier's had a bad game.
Oh, Nussmeier sucks. Pass.
You know what I mean? Like just going through the list. Simpson had the one bad game in week 1.
But he was great.
But
he was great on Saturday.
He's been phenomenal since then. Marcel Reed hasn't had the bad game. Gunnar Stockton, I don't think he's been good enough to have that. Chambliss has the knock because he didn't play the first 2 games.
And they look bad against Wazoo.
But Barron Morton and Haynes King, both Tech schools, Georgia and Texas Tech, both those guys, like they've been gamers and they've been productive and their teams are undefeated. So that combination of things I think is really interesting for this, like where things sit with the Heisman regard.